This is Wake Up on KION News Channel 546 at 6.
Good morning, rise and shine. It's Wednesday, June 15th. I'm Taryn Mitchell. Now, we do have a lot to get to today, but first, let's go ahead and check in with our very own Max Tarleton. He's back with us this morning. Happy to have you back. We missed you, but not feeling too bad out there here on the Central Coast. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. It's not feeling too bad. If you're headed out the door right now, it's fairly comfortable, and it's going to be a nice day today across the Central Coast. Some areas going to be getting extra toasty too. Here's a look at the satellite and things right now showing some clouds out there, especially in the Salinas Valley, and those things will be moving out of here later on today. So good news, some sunnier conditions are on the way. Here's a look at our temperatures right now, and in some spots hanging on to the 50s, some spots dropping into the upper 40s as we head into 6 o'clock now. And you can see it's about 65 in Carmel Valley, 52 in Salinas, and the Salinas Valley hanging on to those 50s this morning. Taking a look now at the futurecast, and things really aren't going to be affecting our area as far as clouds are concerned. A few clouds off the coast of Big Sur and up near Boulder Creek later on this afternoon into the evening hours, but inland areas will be nice and sunny. Taking a look at our morning planner over the next few hours. Things just increasing by the degree, about 64 by 9 a.m. So you can see those temperatures are rising as we head into the day. We'll talk about how warm coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Max, thank you. On the Central Coast, more ballots are counted and the new numbers are rolling on in. After the California primary elections, it looks like votes could lead to more runoff races come November. And the race for supervisor in Monterey County District 2, let's take a look at that at your screen right there. There is a new candidate in second place. Regina Gage has now overtaken Kimberly Craig. Now this could lead to a runoff between Gage and Glenn Church, who has a very significant lead. Craig spent the most of her campaign, nearly $250,000. Gage's lead over Craig is just about only by 23 votes, so it is possible Craig will ask for a recount. Do keep in mind that more ballots need to be counted. Shifting gears over in Santa Cruz County, runoffs are expected for 2 supervisor seats. In District 3, frontrunner and City Councilwoman Shebra Kalantari Johnson has now more than 40% of the vote. Her opponent is former Santa Cruz Mayor Justin Cummings. Now this November in District 4, frontrunner Watsonville City Councilman Jimmy Dutra will face off with Cabrillo College trustee Felipe Hernandez. Hernandez is just about 10 points behind Dutra. Let's take a look at San Benito District 1 for you this morning. Incumbent Betsy Dirks coming in with a first with a little over 30% of the vote there. She will face political newcomer Dom Zanger, who is only within 2 points of Dirks. County election officials must report those final results to the Secretary of State no later than July 8th. The Secretary of State will certify the results come July 15th. In Monterey County, a man who worked for the district attorney's office is in jail as of this morning. Now that's after claims that he sexually assaulted a minor. Pacific Grove Police says that 26-year-old Andrew Cho is now facing felony oral copulation charges. The victim told police Cho first assaulted them back in 2019. That's when they were only 17 years old. The DA's office said Cho is no longer an employee. The city of Pacific Grove tells KION that Cho was a volunteer within the community. We'd like to remind you this morning, if you are a victim or have any information about this investigation, please contact the police department. We'd like to remind you that you can remain anonymous at the number on your screen right there. Down in Los Angeles, law enforcement and other agencies take over the roads in a procession. All of this to honor 2 police officers who were killed in the line of duty. Authorities say that the officers were investigating a stabbing at a motel out there. When the officers did arrive on the scene, they were immediately fired upon. They were later pronounced dead at the hospital.
As our officers do on a daily basis, they were acting as the first line of defense for our community members when they were essentially ambushed while trying to keep a family safe.
The LA County Sheriff's Department states that a suspect died on the scene. It's not known if there are any other suspects at this time. The killing comes one day after a CHP officer was shot and critically wounded during a traffic stop. The office of the governor then releasing a statement on Twitter. It reads in part, quote, We are deeply saddened by the loss of 2 officers in El Monte. Our hearts are with their loved ones and the entire El Monte Police Department during this painful time. Multiple Central Coast agencies also sent their condolences to the officers' families and departments. Wake up time 6:05. Let's check your weather on the 5 this morning. But before we do that, let's take a live look out the door at Mount Toro and a beautiful sight we're seeing this morning. Beautiful skies and sunshine. Let's check in with Max. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You can see a thin layer of clouds out there that'll hang out for us for a little bit. Here's another live look from Domenico's on the Wharf out there. Winds are calm and it's about 51 degrees for you in Monterey right now. Elsewhere, things in the 40s, 50s, and some spots in the 60s. 47 in Watsonville. 52 in Santa Cruz, and Big Sur is 49. The Salinas Valley in the low 50s now. 51 in King City and Bradley, and Soledad about 53 degrees this morning. Parkfield 48. Taking a look at our Futurecast now, and it shows us, well, we'll skip to the high temperatures, but the Futurecast didn't show us much because there's not going to be too many clouds out there today. The high in Monterey about 64. Santa Cruz about 83, and Watsonville 76. Fairly comfortable for you. And Salinas will be about 72. You can see as you head further south, it's going to be warmer. 80 in Carmel Valley, 91 in Soledad, and Bradley is about 101 today. Let's take a live look now from Highway 1. This is near Santa Cruz. You can see traffic flowing smoothly. There's not too many cars out there this morning, so you got the road to yourself. Obviously, those cars traveling at the limit, so nothing holding you down, slowing you down out there.
All right, Max, thank you. Happening today, an FDA panel will now review Moderna and Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccines, but this is for children as young as 6 months old. Yesterday, the panel voted to grant an emergency use authorization for Moderna's shot. That one is for children ages 6 through 17. Pfizer received that same approval just last year.
Vaccine effectiveness was successfully inferred in both age strata, and vaccine efficacy estimates are similar to adults.
The Biden administration says the shots could be available as soon as June 21st if they are approved. Wake up time 6:07, turning now to a live look from Capitol Hill this morning. The nation could see new gun hope with gun control. Senate negotiators may possibly wrap up bipartisan firearms legislation this week. GOP support might have numbers to pass a vote in the Senate. Naomi Ruckham explains what exactly is inside the bill as families mark a solemn anniversary in Buffalo, New York.
Families gathered near a supermarket in Buffalo, New York last night, remembering the 10 lives taken in a racially motivated attack exactly 1 month ago.
I do feel a little better by coming up here because I don't eat and sleep very much.
The mass shooting in Buffalo, along with the Texas elementary school massacre of 19 children and 2 teachers, are prompting lawmakers to come to the table on new gun legislation. In a major bipartisan step forward, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he will support a framework for gun reform, pledging to bring the bill to the Senate floor as soon as possible. His vote seems to indicate enough GOP support to overcome any filibuster in the Senate.
I think it's progress for the country, and I think that the bipartisan group has done the best they can to get total support.
The breakthrough legislation would require enhanced background checks for gun buyers under 21. New funding would support mental health and school security programs. And the bill would crack down on criminals who illegally purchase and traffic firearms.
Right now, people are working hard to put this framework into legislative language. The goal is to have that done in the coming days, and I hope that we'll be able to vote to pass this next week.
Later today, 2 separate House and Senate committees will meet to discuss the impact of gun violence. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
Attorney General Merrick Garland will be in Buffalo today. He'll meet with family members of the 10 victims killed at a grocery store last month. In the Buffalo and Texas shootings, the suspected gunmen were just 18 years old. Happening today, the man who attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan will be released from court, ordered on psychiatric supervision. John Hinckley Jr. was found not guilty by reason of insanity. That shooting itself wounded the president and 3 others. His attorney says he's no longer a threat to the public.
He's no longer mentally ill. He's no longer dangerous.
Hinckley spent more than 2 decades in a mental institution following that shooting. Hinckley's defense team states he wishes he could undo his actions. Multiple fires break out around the Central Coast coming up, where those wildfires now stand as crews took very quick action. Plus, President Joe Biden will visit Saudi Arabia next month. Why critics say that visit is a battle between oil prices and human rights. And students today face a disturbing reality: how middle schoolers are now learning to spot potential school shooters.
And waking up to some clouds on the Central Coast, but things are going to feel really warm for some of our inland spots. We'll tell you how warm coming up. Here's a live look from Mount Toro. See you on the other side of the break.